everyone. Welcome to the Inside Scoop. I'm CNET's Kara Suboy, joined by CNET senior reporter Daniel Turdeman. Welcome, Daniel.
Thank you.
Big news in the social media world. Twitter went public this morning.
They sure did, yeah.
Yeah, and the stock is doing pretty well. It opened at what, $45?
$45 after being priced yesterday at $26, so that's quite a pop.
I know you're not necessarily a financial analyst, but do those numbers surprise you? Is it surprising anyone that it is so high right now?
Well, I bet it surprises Twitter. I mean, that's why they priced it at 26. But I did see some reports in the last few days that suggested, $35, $40 for the shares. So, some people certainly were aware that it was going to come out at that range.
A lot of people couldn't help but compare Twitter's IPO to Facebook's IPO a year and a half ago.
Sure.
And with Facebook, we saw them dip really low to half its initial value before climbing back up.
Right.
What do you think is different about Twitter? Why are they seeing such success right out of the gate? What did they learn from Facebook?
Well, I think, first of all, they studied Facebook's IPO and saw, some of the problems. One of the things I think is that Facebook put out too many shares, so it kind of diluted the value a little bit.
Sure.
Plus, I think that there was just some fundamental problems with Facebook. They hadn't figured out how to make money off of mobile, whereas Twitter really is a pure mobile service, and everybody knows that that's where the eyeballs are these days, is on mobile. And I just suspect that they huddled with their bankers and kind of figured out what the problems were. They went with the New York Stock Exchange instead of NASDAQ, so they really tried to do things very differently than Facebook.
Now, Twitter might have figured out the mobile, but at the same time, they've never turned a profit.
That's
not
true.
once in the
Right.
7 years of existence.
Right.
That's got to change now that you're public, right?
Well, they certainly have to hope so. If you look at their numbers, their amount of revenue has certainly been going up, and I think it's going to be double this year that it was last year. So the trend line is in the right direction. Their costs are also going up at the same time.
More hires.
There's no guarantee they're ever going to make money, but I believe in Twitter. I think that advertisers seem to be signing up and believing in Twitter, and there's a lot of room for them to grow. The one problem is that they've kind of saturated the market in the United States, and most of their advertising revenue comes in the United States. So if they don't figure out how to make money off of advertising internationally, that's where their big problem could be.
How does this advertising or all this growth, how does that look for the average user? What are we going to see different in our accounts?
It's really hard to say. I mean, you do start to see those promoted tweets and everything show up. The big thing that Twitter's been doing is it's sort of like the Amplify program, which is partnering with TV networks and other, like ESPN and NFL, people who create video content, and so they're figuring out how to embed video content into tweets, and I think that's where we'll start to see more advertising. It'll be, I think the advertising is going to be, prominent. You want to watch an NFL clip, you'll have to go through an ad first. And so, the age of a tweet just being 140 characters and nothing more, I think that's long past.
Wow. Now, assuming Twitter closes today, in that steady mid-40s range, what do you think this is really going to mean for the landscape of social media sites and their public offerings in the future?
Well, it's good. I mean, if you're a Pinterest or a Snapchat, something like that, you've got to be, chomping at the bit right now. Also, Square, as we know, Jack Dorsey's other company. Yeah. There was a Wall Street Journal story yesterday that said Square is starting to think about an IPO for next year. So, yeah, I mean, the market looks like the stock market is doing very well right now. Twitter, having its stock price do so well, it's got to look good.
Well, I know all of us here at CNET are going to keep a close eye on this, and people around the world too, Twitter followers especially.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Daniel Turdeman, senior reporter for CNET. I'm Kara Suboy. Thanks for watching The Inside Scoop.